I'm David Suttle here at Wyopreps.com, and it might be hard to believe, but now that we're done with spring sports here, we're on to All-Star season, and the first All-Star game up is the Wyoming-Nebraska six-man All-Star football game. The All-Star Shootout will be in Chadron, Nebraska, coming up this Friday, May 30th. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff at Chadron State College, joined by Team Wyoming head coach Jack Cobb from Little Snake River. And Jack, first of all, I'm curious, this year, as you put together your staff and then you guys looked at players, did you guys change anything in terms of your approach and how you piece this team together as you get ready to play Nebraska?
Well, you always have to a little bit with Nebraska. I mean, every year I say this, and it just gets tougher and tougher to, compete against them. They just have, 36, 38 schools and a lot of athletes to pick from. So you're trying to guess, whether they're going to be a speed team or a size team. And kind of unfortunately, they kind of have everything. They bring a lot of size every year, and they bring a lot of athletes. So, we try to be as athletic as we can, but we also try to build as much size into it as we can, just because it's you just don't know what they're going to bring. I know they have a top-notch tailback. So I'm kind of thinking they're going to pound the ball a little bit more, but you just never know. They have just good athletes. So you just try to get the 18 best kids you can, and you hope you match up as good as you can against Nebraska, and just have a good week of football.
Does that lead to maybe different preparation versus maybe what you've done in the past at all?
I don't think not too much. I mean, honestly, you don't get a lot of time to practice. It is a short window. That's different from the Shrine Bowl. The Shrine Bowl, we do have a week, typically most times to kind of get a game plan in place. But with this game, you really get a Wednesday afternoon and a Thursday day of practice. So it kind of is what it is. And you always kind of putting typically the last few years it's been our powered offense and it's a little bit of spread, depends on who our athletes are. So we're trying to blend a spread and a power. And then on defense, some of us run a zone, some of us run a man. So we're trying to blend that in 2 days. And then you get on the field and you just kind of let athletes be athletes. But so you do game plan, but you don't have a lot of time to do too much.
You
So
mentioned kind of the challenge that Nebraska presents. They have won four of the last five. You've been a part of several of these. So, is it just a matter of trying to get kids bought in right away? Or I mean, because I would imagine that these kids are bought in, first of all, but is there anything that you can do, whether it is in preparation or within the game, to kind of get your team kind of heading in the right direction? Or sometimes is it just kind of making your own breaks in the game, Jack?
I think it's a combination, truthfully, because like I said, they have a lot of talented players in Nebraska. Some of them boys go on to the All-Star game and with the Can-Am game. And, so we get our boys get to play with them in the Can-Am game, and they find out, yeah, they are talented and they're good. Um, but I honestly, it's just you only have 2 days of preparation. And I think it's whatever team can really get the kids comfortable with what the job is, what their job is. And if they go out and perform and do that job, they're going to give you an opportunity to win. And but you still got to have athletes and you got to match up. But they have taken four out of the last five. The one year we did beat them, we had size, we had speed, we had athletes, and they just played well that game. And so you got to have kids that buy in and join together and play for each other. No different than if it's your own team back in your hometown. They have to buy into it and play for each other. And sometimes they do kind of get lost and confused because after 2 days of practice, you can't expect it to be perfect, but you do the best you can, and hopefully you get enough game plan in place and the boys are comfortable and you match up well enough to compete.
Well, Jack, that's all I had. I appreciate a few minutes to preview this game coming up again. It's Friday, May 30th at Chadron, Nebraska. And I want to wish you best of luck in Chadron.
Well, I appreciate it, and it's always fun. I said win or lose, it's one of the neatest experience you do, and especially the All-Star game. It's six-man players, small town kids. They're all good kids, and it's fun to watch and become friends, and hopefully the friends for a lifetime. And that's the key. I mean, the game is the game, but the friendships forever is the big thing. So
Well, Jack, thanks again and good luck.
appreciate it. Thanks, David.